Hello and welcome to another update video about ETH. Ether is still here below the 2023 high. You can see the green line on the chart. It's around $2,135, $2,140, depending on which exchange you're looking at. But I think we can all agree that we haven't got a sustained break above the 2023 high yet. However, Ether is pushing. Ether is pushing against the ceiling here, and it seems like it wants to get above it. And in terms of Elliott Wave count here on the daily chart, we are dealing with a wave 1 to the upside into the August 22 highs, a wave 2 pullback into the November 22 lows, and another 1-2 setup. Here, most recently, the price reacted to our support area that was in October and provided another potential entry point for anybody who wanted to use it. And we now recently broke out of the corrective price channel to the upside. And now we are watching for another wave 2 pullback to occur at some point. At the moment, there is no sign that this wave 2 pullback has started. In fact, rather in contrast to that, we are watching still for another high in this circle wave 1. Possible targets for this are 2,250 on the daily chart, possibly even 2,530. That would be the 78.6 extension level. Bitcoin already broke above the 61.8 extension, which on the ETH chart is 2,250, which tells you a lot about ETH having to catch up a little bit. So that's what we're watching for. First of all, a break above the 2023 high, and then we're going to watch for these two FIB levels, mainly here on the daily chart, because this wave 1 can still extend a little further. You will also note that on the Ether chart, if you compare it to Bitcoin, there is one more 1-2 setup. That suggests that ETH should be outperforming Bitcoin overall, giving it more, let's say, more waves to complete, okay? There is more structure there that needs to be completed, and it means there will be an additional third wave there, because here we have 3 1-2 setups, whereas Bitcoin only has 2. So at least that's what we are currently watching for. Surely there will be different ways to interpret this, but this is probably the best way to do it at the moment. Condition for the bullish perspective on the ETH chart is that the price is holding 1630. In whatever it's doing now, it should hold the 1630 level, because that is the 78.6 retracement of this distance of the move that started in October. And any pullback, if it's corrective, should really end above that 78.6 retracement. Any break below that level would rather indicate that something more bearish is going on. Why? Because any wave 2, while technically any wave 2 can break below the beginning of, can break all the way down to, or go all the way down to the beginning of wave 1. So we can technically get a 99.9% retracement. It is not probable. It is possible, but not probable. So always bear in mind that anything is really possible in the markets, but not everything is probable. So we're always watching for the parameters that give us and tell us at any point in time the most probable scenarios. So sometimes I get, sometimes people comment and say, okay, a wave 2, but a wave 2 can pull back like nearly 100%. And yeah, however, be honest, if anybody who's been watching our videos for maybe months or years, when have we seen that? I mean, if really a move played out and the setup played out, it typically does not happen from a place below the 78.6 retracement. You typically, when you see it break, it will fail. There are the rare occurrences where it still works, yes, but it's maybe in 1 of 10 cases, and it will typically only be on the smaller time frames where you have a lot of distortions anyway and a lot of intraday volatility. Okay, now let's take a look at the shorter time frame wave count for ETH. Situation here basically unchanged. Ether still pushing higher. The price still seems to be ready for further increases, maybe after a little pullback here when that B wave has started. Might be moving, Ether might be moving in this trend channel here. We'll see, we'll observe that. The idea was here on the, 17th of November, that this wave 4 finished. We're now watching if the wave 5 is playing out to, I would say, $2,200 plus eventually would be ideal. We already shared, or I shared a couple of fib extensions on the daily time frame with you. And yeah, ideally, I mean, the minimum requirement would be for the fifth wave to break above these previous swing highs, basically the 2023 highs. The move up seems to be an ending diagonal. There are, however, different ways of how this can be counted. You might see me change this a few times, the microstructures of this 17th of November low. We turned around in the orange support area, so that was a setup. People could have added positions here. We then dipped into the yellow support area. People could have added positions here. And now, yeah, I mean, if the next pullback occurs, we can add another support area. But for now, it's not evident that another pullback has started. But I'm watching for, first of all, on the micro level, these fibs here. So the next smaller degree Fibonacci levels that need to be paid attention to are 2,133, but that's basically the 2023 high. Then 2,146 and 2,169. So these will be relevant here, ideally for the third wave, yeah. And then the fifth wave should still see further extensions higher. In whatever ETH is doing now, ideally it stays above this B wave low. That's at, well, when actually, no, it needs to be the 78.6 retrace of this move. And that would be $2,013. I think I mentioned that in yesterday's video. Because it is possible now that we get a B wave pullback at some point, because this is moving in an ending diagonal. Now again, there are other ways. It could even be a triangle that's forming here. So if we see a break below 2,113, it might be that this larger triangle is playing out that I shared with you yesterday. Basically that wave 4 is unfolding as a huge triangle. A, B, and then A, B, C in wave C, D, E, and then we could go up from there, but it would mean much more sideways action. I don't really have enough waves to confirm a triangle. It's just something that I'm observing. Whenever we're dealing with a lot of corrective action, that is something we want to pay attention to. Yeah, that's my update about Ether. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. For both of these, you can find the links in the video description, and there's additional content there every single day. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.